Good morning, everybody. Today for morning mindfulness, we're going to talk a little bit about breathing and then do some breathing exercises to get us started for today. This could also be a little breathing exercise for the middle of the day, for the evening, for any time you might be feeling a little anxious or antsy or like you need to calm your body down. It can really help. So it could be used any time of the day. But first I want to talk about breathing because it's actually super interesting in the way that it works and the way that you can kind of control your breathing. Your breath, your respiration is a bodily function that your body actually takes care of all by itself. You don't have to think about it, right? You could play soccer or get on a Zoom call or do anything in your life and you don't have to think, okay, I need to breathe in, out. Your body does it for you, right? But you can, if you want, you can take over the control of your breath, right? It doesn't work that way with a lot of your other bodily functions. When I eat some food and my body digests the food, it does that all by itself. And I don't have any control really over how it's happening. And if I try to think about digesting my food, it doesn't really change the process, okay? Same thing with, my circulation. I can't think, okay, I am pushing blood and pumping blood through my body in these certain ways. It just happens, right? My body takes care of those things, and so does yours. Same thing happens for your breath, but with your breathing, you can choose with your mind to sort of take control of your breath. And when you do that in certain ways, it has a pretty big impact, actually, on the way your body and your mind feel. And it can be really good for you. So, we're going to do some breathing exercises. And we'll do 2 or 3 today, and we might learn some others down the road. But before we even learn those, I want to also remind you about this big muscle you may have heard of in your chest called your diaphragm. Okay, the diaphragm is a big, powerful muscle inside of your chest that helps expand and make room inside your chest for your lungs to fill up with air. Okay, it physically makes your chest, the inside of your body, bigger so that your lungs can fill full of air, which they do when you take a big breath in, okay? And so the diaphragm is really working there. And you might notice, if I take a big breath in, my chest is getting bigger. It looks like it's puffing up. My shoulders rise up a little bit. And when I exhale, you can see that space gets smaller. It's physically changing the inside of my body to allow me to fill up full of air. You might also be surprised while you're doing some of these that you can take in more air than you thought. I can keep sucking some air in. And then when you're exhaling, you might also learn, wow, it's amazing how it feels when you're really exhaling all of the air out, squeezing every last little breath out so your lungs are totally empty, okay? So when we're doing these breathing exercises, try and take big, full breaths in and full breaths out, inhales and exhales. Okay, we're going to start by doing some kind of like timed breathing. So we're going to try and make our inhales and exhales equal in time. So we're going to start by doing 3 breaths of 5 seconds in and 5 seconds out. Okay, and you might realize you need to slow your breath down to make an inhale last for 5 seconds. Same with your exhales. We're going to do 3 breaths like that, 5 in, 5 out. Then we'll do 3 breaths even longer, 6 seconds in, 6 seconds out. Okay, then we'll do 3 last ones where we do 7 seconds in and 7 seconds out. So I'll be counting along on my hands while I breathe, and you can just follow along like this. And then down the road, you can just do this on your own. So we're going to start by inhaling and exhaling just through our nose, 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out, 3 times. Okay. go 6. Okay, now we're going to do inhale for 7 seconds, exhale for 7 seconds. There's 3 more rounds. So, you might have noticed that as we extended the time period for inhaling and exhaling, that you really had to slow your breath down and not suck it in so fast because then you would run out of time, right? But to slowly fill up and exhale really helps you get those times, and it helps you breathe really steadily and for long periods. It can be kind of nice. One other way to sort of slow your breath down and to bring some awareness to it is by basically limiting the amount of air that you can breathe in. So I'm sure you know from yawning and from screaming and yelling that with an open mouth you can breathe in really quickly because you have a big hole in your face letting the air in. Okay, it slows down a little bit if you close your mouth and breathe in and out through your nose like we just did. You can make it even more limited if you close one of your nostrils. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to slow our breath down. We're going to do 5 breaths in and out, and let's do it for maybe just 5 seconds. But we're going to do this. We're going to use our thumb and our pointer finger, and we're going to kind of pinch our nose, but we're only going to pinch one side at a time. So cover up your right nostril for inhales, and then switch and cover up your left nostril for exhales. Okay, and we're going to do these for 5 seconds each. So inhale with your left nostril, exhale through your right nostril. I'm sure your hands are clean. Okay, so we're going to practice. Again, we're going to do 5 breaths like this. So in your left nostril, out to your right nostril first. So we'll do these for 5. again, just by limiting how much space you have to let air inside of your body, it can change how fast or slow you're able to breathe. It also could be the wildfire boogers we might have because the air is kind of dusty these days. But plugging one of your nostrils makes you have to breathe in a little bit slower and have to breathe out a little bit slower. Okay. The last thing that I will share with you today is another breathing technique that we'll use for other stuff down the road. And it sounds like this. So we're gonna take a big breath in through our nose, fill up all the way, sip in a little bit more air at the top, and then when you exhale, it's not going to be one long, steady breath out, but instead, we're going to do it in little, short bursts out through your nose. So, again, all the way until you are empty. Squeeze all that air out, okay? And you'll notice each time you send a breath out, a little part of that breath, your chest is getting smaller, right? You're changing the space inside of your body. So let's just practice this one time, and we'll come back to these and you can play around with this a little bit. So we're going to take one big deep breath all the way in. And then when you exhale in short bursts. Until you're empty. Okay, so there was a couple breathing exercises for you today. This might be a good way to start your morning. Again, it could be a good time to a good way to also just slow your body and mind down. A more stressful part of the day. We will be using some different breathing techniques this year. We'll be learning some more about this. So here's just a fun way to get started. And if you followed this video for a little while and you want to practice some more deep breathing after this ends, that's great. And we'll see you soon.